Hey guys, you haven't heard from me in a while, and I guess that's because sometimes I only do videos when I really feel that it's coming from the real core of me, and it has meaning. So you'll probably see my videos from time to time. There's a cat up there in the tree. He's caught. Now he's falling. Anyway, okay. So um yeah, it's the month of May, and I should have done this actually a few days ago. It just totally kind of, I forgot about it, and apologies. I should have done it on the 5th, because that was the day Bobby Sands died in the hunger strike, and Bobby Sands was in the Irish Republican Army, and I should have really done the video on that day, but better late than never, I always say. So yeah, I wanted to talk to you about your roots and different things like that, um, because what happened was I got Bobby Sands' book out of the library, and I was reading it. Because I wanted to feel connected to my roots, and from to know where I come from, and what my people, I suppose, went through and different things like that. But the sad thing about it was I couldn't actually come to read the book. There is a movie about it. It's not as gruesome and as detailed as the book. Normally movies never are. And the book, it really struck me because I could only read one chapter because it was so gruesome, and it really made me think, oh wow, like, when people say something to you and you're annoyed or different things like that, I always come back to that book, and I think, how much he suffered, and really people through the history have done so much more than what any of us will ever probably be put through, especially for women, women's rights and different things like that. There was so many things that people struggled and fought for. And it came to light, I suppose, what Maya Angelou said. She said that we are all being paid for, and that we've all been bought for. And she talked about, in one of her videos before, about blacks being brought over from Africa in slave ships, and we're all lined along the road, and we're bought, as a piece of, just as if you were a piece of meat. And how now, and they were all lined up in chains and different things like that, and came over in boats and had to lie in their own urine and feces and different things like that, and how far we have come, and how much people have paid the way for us. And yeah, when I look in my own country, even though we are, westernized and all that, it does, it can still get better. You can still always improve your community. You can still always grow, and you can still always give people, I guess, hope and inspiration in other countries. And that was why I wanted to talk to you about technology and this book here that I read. Oh, the sun's coming out. It's about Twitter, but also I just want to. Twitter is part of technology, and videos and all of these things. And you're here watching me today on a video. But with technology, there's so much power in it. And this book struck a chord with me because how people videoed things. People being like police dragging black people out of cars and gun shooting them, and also how in China that the internet has always been looked at by the government to see that people aren't talking out bad about the government. And it really made me realize the power of technology and how it can be a voice for people all around the world. And used in the right way, it can be used in the wrong way like anything, but used in the right way can be very powerful. And yeah, it made me really think that it gives people a voice. Everyone now has a video, and if you see things injustice, you should video camera it and put it up on YouTube and different things, and let people see. And those other people put up videos about how women were treated around the world, in non-Western countries and stuff like that. And it's really important to constantly strive for a better world. It's not perfect, it's very unjust. Even if you live in a Western country, it's still not that great. Still women don't have all the rights, work related rights. Women are paid less than men for the same jobs and stuff like that. But yeah, just keep striving. Some kids I don't think nowadays have seen what people have went through years ago. And we had the 1916 Rising 100-year anniversary last year, and I heard some kids saying, well, it was a bit crap. But I think people need to be took back to their roots and understand the amount of work and pain and suffering people had to go through to get where we are now, and that's really important, and to educate young people about that. I think that's really it for today. The other thing I was going to say, yeah, it was just about me being, I suppose I'm white, and I never really thought that someone would be racist against me. And I want you to know that Ireland is the most dispersed passport in the world. All of us seem to leave the island at some stage in search for a better life, and we are the most dispersed passport in the world. And a lot of people would have links with us because they would have ancestors and different things. So when I did go to Australia, a lot of people embraced me and were like, oh, everyone loves the Irish, and because they had grandparents that were Irish who emigrated and stuff like that. But I did come across a guy, and he was like, oh, pure Aussie kind of guy, and he said, oh, the Irish taking the jobs and all this here. And I was like, I didn't think someone would be racist to me, and it wasn't nice. You feel like a piece of dirt. And yeah, I think in our country's changing. It's becoming very multinational, like Australia and New Zealand, and some people aren't used to that. Some people aren't used to people coming in, and they feel uncomfortable, and they feel like people are taking their jobs. But I think you need to grow a pair of balls and realise that there's abundance out there for everyone. There's more than enough for everyone. You just have to go out and search for it and stop making excuses that people are taking their jobs. You just have to be creative sometimes. Sometimes you take jobs that you wouldn't normally take. So when I was in Australia, I worked to get my second year visa. I pruned 2 vineyards, and it was tough. Those guys that would rock up for 2 weeks and leave because it was so tough. And we stuck it out, me and my friend, and we got our second year visa. And that's what some people say, that some countries are built on immigration, because America is built on immigration. Because what happens is country becomes very wealthy, and the wealthy people won't do the lower jobs, and the immigrated people come in, and they're willing to do it because they really want to strive for a better life. And some countries are built on immigration, and it's a universal thing. And I think, yeah, embrace it. Sometimes I did think, oh, what type of people are you letting in? And sometimes the standard of living from other people is lower than your standard, but I think integration is a great thing, because when you embrace it, the people become their children grow up in that country, and they become Irish, and their standard of living grows. And yeah, it's a really good thing. And I think compassion, and I always believe love is the strongest force in the universe. It really melts people's hearts and makes them better people. And if you embrace it and are very, very compassionate, you should welcome everyone in, and know that there's always enough for everyone, and keep striving for a better life for everyone around the world. So that's all I'll say for today. Thank you. Bye.